Hello BookTube, welcome back to my 2026 library tour. By special request, I am going to begin with the manga part of my collection, which is why I am now in my bedroom, also known as the little manga room. I'm going to begin with this small bookcase here, which is solely filled with volumes of One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. So, One Piece is a very long-running manga series. It started back in 1997, so it is entering its 29th year. Next year it will hit the big 3-0. One Piece is about a young man named Monkey D. Luffy who, when he was a child, was a mascot for a pirate crew led by red-haired Shanks. On the penultimate visit of the red-haired pirates to Luffy's home village, Luffy ate a devil fruit, a fruit that grants its consumer superhuman abilities. In Luffy's case, the ability to stretch his body and become a rubber boy. 10 years later, Luffy leaves his home village to set out and become a pirate on his own, and over the course of the first story arcs, he gradually builds the core of his crew with the intention of seeking out the One Piece, a fabled treasure left behind by the king of the pirates, Gold D. Roger, whose discoverer will themselves be acclaimed king of the pirates. So, I got into One Piece relatively recently, and I've been collecting the series in these 3-volume omnibus volumes. So each volume is fairly uniform in look. It will include a cropping of the 3 volumes that appear in the volume itself. So this is from Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. There will be the banner here and also along here an idea of where in the story these volumes are placed. And on the back is a bit about the series and an image. And also on the spine there is an image of Luffy as well as what volumes are included. So this volume includes volumes 1, 2, and 3, and is part of the East Blue Saga, which is where Luffy sets out to become a pirate, forms the core of his crew, and takes on the strongest pirate in the East Blue, Arlong. These are volumes 4, 5, and 6. Seven, 8, and 9. And 10, 11, and 12. So that concludes the East Blue, which is the part of the world where Luffy is from. So the One Piece world is divided into 4 oceans, separated by an artificial continent ring called the Red Line, and a stretch of ocean called the Grand Line. And the various oceans are designated by East, North, South, and West Blue. Once Arlong is defeated, the Straw Hats and the Going Merry head to the Grand Line, which is the most prominent stretch of ocean in the world, which you have to cross the Red Line to get to. And once they get there, they immediately run afoul of a criminal organization called Baroque Works. And so the next saga deals with the conflict with them. So this is volume 13, 14, and 15. And in these volumes, two more crew members join. Chopper, who's in 16, 17, and 18. And then at the end of the saga, Nico D. Robin, 19, 20, and 21. And 22, 23, and 24. So after their conflict with Baroque Works ends, the Straw Hats find themselves on a floating island in the Skypia saga with volumes 25, 26, and 27. '28, 29, and 30. And 31, 32, and 33. Excuse me. After their adventure in the sky, the crew go to Water 7 and attempt to fix their ship. And things don't quite go to plan, and ultimately this storyline involves adding a new crew member, Frankie, as well as rescuing Nico Robin from government agents. So the Water 7 saga includes volumes 34, 35, and 36. 37, 38, 39. 40, 41, and 42. 43, 44, and 45. So, after that, there is a small little saga called Thriller Bark, where the Straw Hats take on another warlord of the sea. And this saga takes place over the course of volumes 46, 47, 48. 49, 50, and 51. And then there's a few omnibus volumes that are relatively shorter. So there's the Sabaody arc, which really begins at 51, but goes through 52, 53, and 54, which actually begins the Impel Down saga. Which also goes through volume 55, 56, and 57, which also begins the Paramount War storyline, which goes through volumes 58, 59, and 60. So I'm not entirely sure why from Thriller Bark through to the Paramount War there are more separated arcs or sagas compared to the earlier ones, and certainly what comes next after the time skip. So volumes 61, 62, and 63. 64, 65, and 66. 67, 68, 69. 70, 71, 72. 73, 74, 75. Which is, I think, where I stopped off at. '76, '77, '78. 78. 79, 80, 81. 82, 83, 84. 85, 86, 87. 88, 89, and 90. So all of these arcs or volumes are part of the New World saga. Now, I'm not entirely sure why the New World saga is so long. Given that I think, while I can see the Fishman Island saga or arc being combined into a saga, I'm surprised that the Dressrosa arc and the Whole Cake Island arc which are two fairly long arcs, are bunched together into the New World. So after that, the Straw Hats and a group of crews of other pirates and others form an alliance to take down Kaido, one of the four emperors in the Wano saga, which take place over the course of volumes 91, 92, and 93. 94, 95, 96. 97, 98, 99. 100, 101, 102. 103, 104, and 105. So I'm not entirely sure what the forthcoming omnibus volumes of One Piece will have as the saga name. So far, I have not seen the next omnibus volume previewed or teased. I every month look to Viz's website. Viz is the English language publisher of One Piece and other manga put up by Shueisha and a few other publishers. So I don't know. Anyway, so that is my One Piece collection. Anyway, so yeah. So going forward with the manga tour, this is the only shelf I have that is just one series. Every other bookcase has several series on it. So I don't know if I'm going to do the whole bookcase in one video or break it up. I'm thinking about doing a more limited, maybe 20-minute or so video, and then depending on where the series or whatever it is wraps up, then end the part there and then continue on with the rest of the bookcase in a later episode. So anyway, BookTube, thank you. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next part.